It's Madden NFL 24.
And the question is, are you ready for some football?
It's the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins.
Coming up next.
It is a tropical, hot summer afternoon, so staying hydrated going to be key for the players, the fans, even the commentators as we are at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Miami Dolphins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. At CD, the Dolphins, they've got some high hopes for 2023. They feel like they've got the pieces to make a run. They need a little bit of health, but they think they can be right there in the AFC East.
And they'll want every game to be a track meet because speed is their calling card. And if they're able to sprint out there ahead of people and make them chase, they'll be tough to reel in.
And then for our visitors, the Broncos, 5-12 was their record last year. One of the bigger underperforming teams in the league. Injuries to guys like Javonte Williams certainly hurt. But what do you think they need to do, Charles, to turn it around?
They need to build a more cohesive offensive line. They've struggled in that spot for the last couple of seasons. And a defense that's often very good has to tackle better in the open field.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Miami. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Lost for the year in Week 4 last season. Here's Javonte Williams. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great sixth sense, maybe even a seventh and eighth. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Here's Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
On 2nd down, Williams. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. The end result, 21 yards.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Wilson will throw again. And it's caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Adam Troutman from 8 yards out. And the Broncos post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the 1st quarter before we spilled into the 2nd, and finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins set to go on offense for the first time behind their 25-year-old quarterback, now in his 4th NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa.
Injuries overshadowed a great season from Tua last season. He led a Miami passing game that was one of the best in the league, and even more importantly, took them to the postseason for the first time in 6 years. That jump they were looking for from him, it absolutely occurred.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And they've been kept off the scoreboard in this first half, but here toward the end, they're trying to change that in one fell swoop, but that winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Here's 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Tua, a final shot before half. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This has been a hard-fought battle thus far. Just the one touchdown to this point is still anybody's game at 7-0, as both of these defenses have been out there trying to one-up one another.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Tua. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if he can make someone miss in the open field.
Here's second and a yard. Throwing Tua. This is caught by Waddle. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here we go, first and goal. Here's Tua. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Tua. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here's a big one. It's fourth and goal. Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's Tua. That'll be caught by Hill. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down one. That extra point is not a gimme.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. And he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. What a return, and they've taken the lead.
And that score, in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears. They get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's 1st and 10. Tua. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
To not finish a game on a defensive penalty, that's why they get one more untimed attempt.
One final try for Tagovailoa. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags because